Well, I guess so.
I missed it, Dwight. You'll have to tell me again.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good to go. You're all live.
Good morning, everybody. It's 10:07 a.m. on February 8th, 2025. I'm sorry we've been a little bit delayed. We had some very important updates that had to run on the computer here. This is the Kentucky State Board of Elections, and I'll call this meeting to order. I'm Michael Adams, the Secretary of State and Chair of the Board. I'm going to call the members. I'll recognize you in the order I see you on the big screen here. Member Perry.
Sue Carol Perry, member, Shelby County.
Member Owens.
Carl Owens, Kenton County, here.
Member Sears.
Dwight Sears, member, Pulaski County.
Member Johnson.
Jerry Johnson, member, Franklin County.
Member Griggs.
Julie Griggs, member, McCracken County.
Member Ferris.
Eric Ferris, member, Jefferson County.
Member Brangers.
Deanna Brangers, member, Jefferson County.
Thank you very much. We have a quorum and we'll proceed to our business. Our first item is to approve the draft minutes from our last meeting on January 21st. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to move.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion or changes? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. Next, we have acceptance of our executive director's time for January. Did everyone receive that? Any questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, next we'll go to Rachel Pointer for our financial update.
Good morning.
Morning.
No real standouts this month. It looks like we're about to fall back in line after post-election, so that's looking good for the rest of the year. I did have some questions about the report for the rentals for January. I did respond back to that, but I'd be happy to answer any further questions about that or clarify any further if anyone has anything.
Thank you, Ray.
Other than that, it's a pretty short report for January, which we'll take at the beginning of the year. So if anybody has anything else, I'll be happy to answer.
I move approval of the report.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right, thank you, Rachel. Next, we have review of a Kentucky Office of Homeland Security grant. Can you walk us through this, please?
I'm going to defer that to Rachel. She works
Okay.
closely with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security and particularly on this. So, Rachel.
We have already signed the memorandum of understanding with Franklin County a couple of months ago. And so this is the resulting service contract for that. This will allow us to receive money from the Office of Homeland Security to purchase additional plum cases. And so once this service contract is in place, we can start procuring those items and getting those in our office.
We have to run these through a county government, right? That's the catch. Is that why we use Franklin County?
Yes, so for these types of grants, because they're competitive grants and the counties have 80% chance when there is unclaimed funding for elections, because a 3% is set aside for election related funding. If that is not claimed by the counties, any leftover can then go through Franklin County to pass through Franklin County to us, and we can distribute it for other necessary items. Franklin County was just this time. Davis County was the time before.
Okay, yeah, I know Davis has helped us and Fayette, I think, was as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when they do that, it absolves them from any further reporting. So then once they do that, State Board of Elections takes care of all the inventory, all the grant reporting, and all the financial responsibility.
Any questions on this contract? We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right, moving right along. Next, we have our Executive Director, Karen Sellers.
Thank you. Just a brief report. One thing that on February 6th, State Board of Elections, Secretary of State, and the KCCA represented by Jason Denny, we all spoke about the 2024 presidential election, just provided an update about that and the hand-to-eye audit that took place just after the election. And we all provided that at the request of the new chairman of the Elections Committee, which is DJ Johnson. So we all went with that. We also, together with KCCA, Secretary of State, SBE, and Representative Decker, we've been in collaboration to prepare some continuous improvement language to elections. Again, this is continuous improvement. It's really cleaning some language. It has not been filed yet. House bills, I think the deadline's tomorrow to file a House bill. So expecting that legislation to be introduced. And if it is, we can certainly keep the board updated on any of that improvement that as it passes through the General Assembly. NASED is the National Association of State Election Directors. Taylor, Rachel, myself, and Richard attended that meeting. It's always good to have some interaction with other national state election directors and see, you know, some of the things that are going on in their states. But Taylor, we took the opportunity, being in DC, arranged meetings with our congressman and Senator McConnell. Had a good meeting with Senator McConnell, Congressman Comer, McGarvey, Barr, Rogers, and Guthrie with their offices. So we just updated them on some of the things that are going on in elections in Kentucky, how, you know, the 24 update, similar to what we did to the elections committee, as well as our HAVA, how important HAVA dollars are to the state, to continue to get those and how we expended those this last year. Plus, we also talked about just USPS, which was a hot topic of conversation. We didn't even have to bring it up. They pretty much asked. So, but it was good. Just a MOU list maintenance update. Since the last meeting, we've signed an agreement with West Virginia. Mississippi has told us they have it signed and we should get that this week. And Taylor and I, last week, I think it was last week, had meetings with the general counsels for Ohio and Florida. So we're hoping, you know, maybe by the next meeting, we'll have those executed as well. KCCA at the meeting last week, we introduced the group to Meg Henderson, which is our GIS specialist that is on board with us now. And she, it was a good, I think it was good interaction for the clerks. They'd been, you know, most of the interaction for them had been during reapportionment, but she was able to talk to the group about, you know, the accuracy of precinct boundaries and mapping across the state and how that's going to benefit elections, you know, when we get to 2026 and make sure that we can do the election again with the highest amount of integrity. So that's my report.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Karen? Thank you. Next, we have Kevin Alexander on behalf of the KCCA. Welcome, Kevin.
Morning. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. I really don't have anything to report. I'm sorry I was just late getting on. I was in a meeting this morning, but yeah, Karen, as she said there a minute ago, we had a good presentation at our meeting on Wednesday, and it was really good. And I think that is going to be something that's going to be very beneficial to clerks, as we're able to, obviously there was some clerks that were very interested in that have had situations such as Tony Hare over at Shelby County. He had some good input on it and everything, but it was good. And that's really all I've got to report this morning.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Kevin? All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
So I think all we have left is a closed session to discuss. I know we need to discuss pending litigation. Do we have any security measures to discuss? Okay, so I'm gonna mark that out. So before we go into closed session, do we have any other business before the board today? Because if not, we'll mark through other business and we'll go off the record. And when we come back, all we'll have left to do is to adjourn. Does that suit everybody? Okay. Okay. Can I get a motion to go into closed session to discuss pending litigation?
So moved.
Second.
I think then seconded. All in favor say aye.